I'm going to show you what is inside my Watercolor Pets, the Complete Foundations course. I have been adding to this, so there may be more in this course than you see in this video today, but I just wanted to give you a basic overview of what's in here and what you can expect. So I have 3 sections: getting started, tutorials, and studio equipment and video. So I start with my quick links. I have all of the reference photos from all of the paintings we go over, and then I have the reference scans because sometimes it's a little bit easier to look at a painting than a photo, so that can help you learn how to paint the photos and how I do my brush work. In the getting started section, I have my art supply list and my watercolor terms, and this is really just to give you an idea of what some of the things I'm saying are if you're not as familiar with watercolor terms. My art supply list, I have everything listed here as well as a link to my Amazon storefront, so if you want to purchase some of my supplies I'm using, that makes it a little bit easier to find. My first video, I talk about my 5 brushes I use and what I use them for. Paints and palette, I talk about all my paint colors here and what I'm using. You can use whatever you have. This is just a guide, and it may be helpful if you're starting out and you're trying to figure out what colors you need. I talk about all the palettes I've used over the years and what I use them for and what I prefer. Then I talk about professional paint versus cheap paint, and it's really just a little demonstration to show the difference and why you might prefer one over the other. I discuss 4 ways to get the most out of your paint. I know it can feel expensive buying these little tubes of paint, and so these are just some ways I found to make my paint go a little bit farther. Then I talk about my white paint I use on my watercolor paintings. I've used a couple different things here, and I talk about the pros and cons of each. Then I go over mixing colors, and I talk about warm versus cool, and I specifically show you this brown dog and how I mix my paint to find those warm and cool tones. So this video is around 4 minutes long, and you can see I have my painting happening up here along with my palette, and I'm really talking about the colors I'm mixing and where I'm using them, and I just take you through this whole painting process and what colors I'm looking for and what brushes I'm using. I also have the sketch to this dog and the reference photo, so if you wanted to download this, this is a Photoshop file, which you can also open in Affinity, which is a free program. It's just like Photoshop, but it's free. So I have this sketch here. If you want to print that out, I show you how to do that. Paper, I talk about the paper I use, and then I get to my next section, which are the tutorials. And I talk about how to make a digital sketch and how to get it onto your watercolor paper. So just like in that brown dog video, I've included sketches for all of the paintings we work on together, and I'll discuss how you can make your own sketches from your own reference photos. This one's a little bit of a longer video, and I really get into all of my tips. Then I tell you how you can print your sketch onto watercolor paper here, and then how you can print 2 smaller paintings onto 1 sheet of paper just to make your paper go a little bit farther. I've also included a template for these 5x7 or 5x5 paintings so that you can get the exact size of where to cut. Then I have my mixing paint for a flat wash, and then how to mount your paper and how to paint a flat wash. Next I have my dog process video, and this just finishes off this dog that I am painting in the other videos. And then I've also included the sketch for that dog and the reference photo. Then I tell you how you can remove and trim your painting successfully, and how to flatten a wrinkled painting. Then we move on to our fur practice videos, and these are just broken down into 6 different sections of fur texture and color, and each video is around 12 or so minutes, and we really go into detail on each of these squares. So I have each section taped off, and I show you my palette, the reference photo, and how I'm painting it, and I also have captions on all my videos so that you can understand what I'm saying. So there's 6 of those. Then we move on how to paint dog eyes, and we paint this dog here, and I've included the reference photo and the sketch. This one is about 12 minutes long, and I just really go into detail about each step. Next, we talk about how to paint cat eyes, and I've included photos of each step just to make it a little more clear to help you see the layering techniques. And I've also included the printable for that. Next, we have how to paint a dog nose, and this one's a little bit longer. It's 21 minutes long, and I take you through each step to help you learn how to paint a dog nose. The sketch and the reference photo is also included here. Next, we have how to paint whiskers, and I also have the instructions included if that's easier to read. And then a quick overview on how to paint watercolor fur with the sketch and the reference photo included so you can practice that. Next, we have how to paint black fur, and I have instructions on how to paint black fur, as well as a diagram that shows warm versus cool black and how to mix those, as well as the sketch so you can print and practice. Then we have how to paint white fur with the instructions and the printable so that you can practice along with me. Next, we have how to paint soft fur and just how to get this soft edge with your fur and your washes with the reference photo and the printable. Then we have how to paint a smooth coat, and this one's a little bit longer as well. This is 13 minutes. So this is the same dog we painted the eyes for, and then I take you through the rest of the dog on this video, and I include the sketch and the reference photo. Then we have how to paint an out of focus background with the video instructions, the reference photos, and the printable to practice. How to paint golden watercolor fur with the instructions, the reference photo, and the printable sketch. Then I talk about how to paint long textured fur, and I have this quick overview video. It just breaks down the steps really quickly, and then this longer 11-minute video that really breaks down each step. I have the instructions, the reference photos, and the printable so you can practice this as well. The last video I have in my tutorial section is this Sleeping Tabby Cat workshop. And I have a video showing how to get this sketch onto your watercolor paper if you're printing it versus tracing it. And then I have this 46-minute video of taking you very carefully, step by step, how to paint this cute little sleeping tabby cat. So I've included the sketches and the reference picture. My last section is studio equipment and video, and this is great if you're wanting to share your work on social media. I talk about everything I have in my studio. I have all my equipment list here with the links. Then I talk about how to get a good scan of my painting and what software I use. And then I talk about my video tips here. So I have tips for the best time-lapse videos. And then I show an example of a good one. And then how to edit multiple time-lapse videos into one video. Also how to record a high-quality art process video, ones that are more real-time and taken in clips. And I show you how to edit that here in this video. Then I have my technology Amazon storefront links. So this links all of my equipment and everything I use. And then tips for social media posts. So these are just things I found have worked well for my page. And then I link to my Instagram page. That's everything in this course. I've packed a lot in here. I've had a lot of great feedback, and I'm continuing to add to this where I see there might be some holes or just some fun workshops like this cat that I could add. I've had people say they've been rewatching videos, practicing the skills, and that it's been really helpful. So I hope you take this course, and I hope that you can learn a lot from it and feel more confident in your pet portraits. I'm always open to more questions, so please let me know if you have any. I think you're really going to enjoy this and learn a lot.